Hi everybody and welcome back to English for Professionals. I'm Derek and I'm here with another short lesson for you busy people. In this lesson, I'm going to share lots of great phrases for negotiating in English. Before we get started, if you're interested in short lessons to help you with your business English, then subscribe to my channel. Hit the red button and don't forget to click on the little bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a new lesson. And now, let's get started. We're going to begin with some useful phrases for welcoming and relationship building / small talk. And the first one is, welcome to, followed by the name of your company. Then, it's great to finally meet you in person, or the less formal version, it's great to put a face to the name. These phrases are especially useful if you've had contact before per telephone or per email, but you haven't actually met. Another useful phrase to use at the beginning is, I hope you had no trouble finding your way here. Or, how was your trip? Is this your first time in? Can I get you something to drink? How's business? Or, how's the weather in? Now we'll move on to establishing the procedure. So you may have already agreed on a procedure for your negotiation by email or over the phone, but if you haven't, this is what you can say here. To start with, I think we should establish a procedure. Perhaps we could start by outlining our position. After that, you could present yours. Then we'll discuss everything in detail and see what our options are. How does that sound? Stating your position. As we see it, there are 4 main points we need to discuss. Or, there are 3 main areas we'd like to discuss. Expressing priorities. Our main priority is, or the most important issue for us is. And if there's anything about your negotiating partner's position or priorities that are unclear, here are some useful phrases to ask for clarification. I'm not exactly sure if I understood your position on this. Would you mind going over it again? Or, could you please clarify your position on? Or, could you be more specific, please? Making a proposal. Our proposal is to, or, we'd like to propose, or, we propose, and one more example, we suggest. Asking questions and making counter proposals. How do you feel about? What are your views on? What would you say to? I'd like to propose an alternative. What if we? Wouldn't it be better to? Expressing disagreement. I'm afraid we can't agree to that. I'm sorry, but we can't quite agree with you on that. I'm afraid we had something different in mind. I'm not sure that would work for us. I'm sorry, but I have some reservations about. If you have reservations about a proposal or an idea, it means you have doubts. You're unsure that it will work. And one more example, that would be very difficult for us because. Now let's move on to bargaining and compromising, a very important part of negotiating. We would be prepared to if you could. For example, we would be prepared to offer a discount if you could increase your order. When you say you would be prepared to do something, it means you're ready to do it. There's a strong possibility. However, when you say you might be able to do something, you're saying it's a possibility, but it's not a strong possibility. For example, we might be able to bring the price down if you could increase your order. And very similar to the first example, but the other way round, If we were two, would you be willing to? For example, if we were to increase our order, would you be willing to offer a discount? And here are some more examples of bargaining and compromising. In exchange for this, would you be prepared to? Would you be willing to accept a compromise? Maybe we could meet halfway on this. We're happy to accept your offer, but there is one condition. From our point of view, an acceptable price would be. I'm afraid we just can't go below this price. Is that the best you can do? I'm sorry, but that's our final offer. Now let's have a look at a couple of phrases for delaying. Sometimes you just need more time. I think we'll need more time to consider these options. And sometimes you don't have the authority to make certain decisions. I'm afraid I'm not in a position to make this decision myself. I'll need to discuss it with our CEO first. Expressing agreement. We can agree to that. Or, that sounds reasonable. I think that would be acceptable. I think we can go along with that. And when you've reached agreement on the main areas of the negotiation, you might say, it looks like we have a deal. And finally, some very important phrases to use when you're concluding the negotiation. Let's sum up everything we've agreed on today. So, we just need to finalize, but I think we can wait until we meet again next week. Do you agree? There are still a few minor details to work out here, but I think we can do that tomorrow. I hope I haven't missed anything. Let's just confirm the details. Great, let's get this in writing. Excellent. Well, it's been a pleasure doing business with you. Here's to a successful long-term relationship. And if you couldn't reach a deal, I suggest we meet again next week once we've had time to consider everything we discussed here today. And before we finish, here's a great tip for you. Check out my business meetings lessons here on YouTube. A lot of the content in those lessons will also be helpful for negotiation. So that brings us to the end of another short lesson. I hope you liked it and I hope you found it helpful. If you did like it, hit the like button and share with your friends and colleagues. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that, and don't forget to join my email list. Every 2 weeks I send out my free vocabulary email with additional business English, words from the news and everyday English for you to learn. The link is in the description below. Thanks a lot for watching and see you soon.